This is Bamboo. You are watching Bamboo Speaks. I have the beautiful Bambi here.
Hello.
Say hello to the people.
Hello.
And today we're going to we got a topic that Miss Bambi herself picked for us. Um, Speaking about addictions, the changes that affect that in effect you go through going through that recovery process or even going through that type of situation. And then also, in conjunction with that, personal growth. Because at the end of the day, without personal growth, I don't know if you can actually get over an addiction or get over anything for that matter. Because if you're not growing, then that means you're stagnated. You're staying in place. You're not growing. You're not moving. You're just the same. So, some of the topics we're going to have a free discussion and some points that we're going to bring out, and hopefully y'all can enjoy. And then we also have the comment chat section that is actually open today. Sometimes when I do a show, it does not have that chat section open, um, and I don't know why. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But I'm still trying to figure this thing out. Um, but in the meantime, it is there, and you guys can feel free to comment, questions, concerns, whatever you want to say. Just keep it peaceful, and then don't forget to like and share, and let's rock and roll with this. Nice Bambi.
It lost it again. To preference, my name is Bambi. I am YouTube's weird. I've got to figure it out again. But I am 8 years clean off of um, most opioids. And oh, this is really hard. I'm 8 years sober off of heroin. Have been for a very long time. I started very young, and it was very hard. Um, because it was hidden, it was cloaked, it was not talked about, it was there. Um, and yeah, any questions you want to start out with first?
Um, so I've never actually been addicted to anything. I've seen and experienced some things. Actually, though, there was a I take that back. It's been a long time. When I was 18, I had uh, I just stole my brother's car. Um, I went to run up. Mom ended up putting me out the house, and it was in Lincoln Terrace. I forgot the neighborhood, but this was I was 17. I'm 52 now, so that's a long time. And so yeah, I had ended up staying with my best friend's cousin while I was down there, and I was down there 8 months. And shortly after, um, I got exposed to crack. And well, when it started out, it was just socializing, with people. And I've always been a sucker for free ones. That's probably why I had so much trouble when I first started going to the strip club. But yeah, I was like, oh, these girls like me. No, they don't. But being that young, I was impressionable and ended up getting into that. Started to use, and I, I don't know, I didn't like what I became, but I didn't really pay it mind in mind. And to my mom one day was like, I'm thinking about letting you come back home, blah, blah. When she told me that, everything, nothing else mattered at that point. I was getting in trouble. Girls were making me trick out my money. I was literally like, man, I was, and this is kind of ironic because the kingpin's mom, I was not dating her, but casual with her. So he ended up putting me on. He gave me something to sell, and I ended up losing that with these girls that um, that I was involved with, and I kind of wanted a hard decision. My mom said, "I'm thinking about letting you come home." I said, "Well, this life ain't for me because I done lost all this man's stuff." And so I basically hitchhiked home. Uh, Roanoke is like 4 hours from DC, give or take. It took me 12 hours to get home because I'm kind of like hitchhiking. I walked for a long time, and then I ended up getting picked up by this guy that was driving truck trailer, and he took me the rest of the way. Got home. Mom did not let me in the house. She said I was thinking about it. I hadn't made no, I didn't, make a decision on it. And I'm like, and in my head, I'm like, I'm standing at the door, make a decision. Like, and she closed the door on me. I never went back into the house. And I didn't smoke crack again. It's been over 30 years.
Yeah. So for like 8 years, so like I prefaced, I'm from Arkansas. Before we got live, but for the people that don't know, I'm not from the DMV area. I'm from Arkansas. Grew up near the Little Rock area, but if I saw drugs firsthand foremost with my mother, and because
Sold or used?
saw
Oh, saw.
she was using in front of me, like I saw it. My first hit of marijuana was from her. My first hit of weed was from her. Everything starting from it stems from her. Granted, it's not she introduced it, but I took the steps to use. Because you can be introduced to something, but it's your choice to choose to use or not. But when you're starting at a very young age, like I'm talking 8, 9 years old, you see, you hear, you think. It's very impressionable on a child. And it was what took my mother's rights away from me was because of her drug addiction. Because it didn't just she was healthy in the beginning. She was completely healthy. She developed osteoporosis. She had broken her back. They put her on a whole bunch of medication. She also has a whole bunch of psychiatric conditions like I do. And when you mix opioids plus a lot of heavy psychiatric medication during the time, back in the 2000s, from my understanding, from my dad's perspective, it was just not mixing. Because you have your benzos, which are muscle relaxers and also used as anti-anxiety reliefs, being mixed with opioids. There was just not a lot of understanding back then.
It's kind of like a double down.
Yeah, she was all constantly sick. Then she developed seizures, and then it just downfalled, and it downplayed everything. And she lost custody, and it was a fight there and back. I We were 3 hours apart when my parents were separated, and the first time I saw her use heroin, I was 8, 9. I was sitting in the bedroom. She put the stuff to do it. At the time, it was intravenously, and she taught me how to use it intravenously. And when you show a child that impressionable, it leaves a lasting mark.
And how old did you say you was?
I was 8, 9. And then I got addicted at 11, got sober at 14.
That was the 8 years span?
Yeah, less than 8 years. Because I was addicted from 12 to 13, so that was 2 years. Witnessed it when I was like 8, 9. Started at
And when she showed you how to use it, was that her doing it because she knew you had to because of withdrawals, or she just was like
I don't know what was going through her head. I wasn't even.
do you remember like
I at the time I was a child. Like I was sober, knew nothing about drugs. 10 was when I did my first hit of marijuana. Like like it was just there, and then I started smoking. Then I was introduced to other stuff, but mainly it was opioids. It started
started with
off.
that?
It started. I was smoking weed because I have a genetic condition called Ehlers-Danlos, right? And it causes the collagen in my body to be very, 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 very elastic, and it causes chronic pain. At the time, I was undiagnosed. Was dealing with chronic pain. I was bedridden for days. I was hunched over, vomiting because I was in so much pain, and it was hard. It was hiding in a box, and like not having to like be able to describe to your parents because like they think it's just a whole thing that ran in the family just genetically until like I got diagnosed, and then they started looking at the pattern and the women and like some of the men in my family. They're like, this isn't just a genetic thing. This is a this isn't just a family like mirror like what's the word?
It's not just hereditary. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's not just hereditary. No, it is hereditary, but it's just not you know how like you have something like a quirk about your family that's just everybody has. It was like us. It was like a quirk, but it wasn't actually a
Kinda
quirk. It was a genetic condition.
like a signature.
Yeah, that a signature thing that our family had, and it wasn't just a signature thing. It was actually a genetic condition that was leading to some of the problems that a lot of my family had, like very really painful joints, very bad hearts, very bad livers, very bad thyroids, like very bad backs. Like it was just all genetic components, and it wasn't really until I got diagnosed with Ehlers-Danlos and I got the genetic testing that was like, oh yeah, this is a genetic family condition. Like it's ran in your family for generations, and it's just never been pointed out because Ehlers-Danlos is now just starting to get the research pushed out. And if it wasn't for the genetic conditioning, and
Kind of
like
like a rare thing. Rare
yeah,
disease.
and if it wasn't for like, granted, I hate saying this, but sometimes drug use can lead to something. A lot of drug use and a lot of things have underlying conditions under them. And that's where personal growth comes in because you have to look at the underlying cause before you can approach the now situation.
And so like I know like with my run in with the oldest, one of the oldest drugs out there, my personal growth was that I haven't tested in over 33 years. Um, and it's crazy because when I still was bad. I ended up getting locked up when I did go back home. So my mom turned me away essentially. Um, I wandered over to this apartment complex where I used to skip school at, and mind you, that whole 12-hour journey from Roanoke to DC or Maryland, one and the same. You go across the street in Maryland, back across the street in DC. Temple Hills is like right
Go
next to
past,
DC.
go right, go right
Maryland is
across the
so
street on the
retarded.
south. You're in
Yeah,
Virginia.
you see what I'm saying? Like in Maryland, like Temple Hills is actually classified as a city. Oxon Hill is classified as a city. They're right there. And then you go down some miles, you got Landover, another city. And then you got another city, Upper Marlboro. It's like you got 20 cities in a city block radius. I don't know, but it's Maryland. It's what it is. But I went to this apartment complex where I should skip school because I had nowhere to go, didn't have no money. I'm 18, fresh out back. I needed something at that point. I don't know what was going through my mind, but I knew that um, I was tired. But even when I had it on Red Reebok Classics, I wasn't very good. But when I went to the apartment complex and I went up um, under the stairwell where I could, I skip school, I get up there and chilling. um, my feet were sweating and, tired tired, and so I took my shoes off. Lo and behold, my socks was red, like blood red. And then I just got to thinking, I was like, man, somebody come out here and see me, they're gonna probably think I'm dead or got murdered or something. So I was like, let me rethink this. So I put my shoes on, and then I went and sat on the steps because I didn't really know I didn't know what my next move was gonna be. And uh, this guy comes out the door, and he lives there obviously, and he sees a strange, you know, sees me out there. He goes up out to the out the door, and I guess smoking or whatever. Um, and he comes in. He did that a couple times. Obviously, he was probably scoping me out and trying to see, what I was about, what I was doing. I was a stranger over there. Um, there was another guy that basically came in, um, just getting off work or whatever, and went inside the same apartment. And he actually came out and older guy, and he asked me, are you okay? What's your name? Start asking questions, and I told him, what was going on, and this is where I just came from. I didn't tell him about the crack part. 'Cause I probably figured like that, probably like shooting himself in the foot, like close the door before it even opened. But I kept that to myself. But I told him I was in Roanoke, and my mom was. I came back home and tried to get back in the house. She wouldn't let me. Long story short, he let me come in his house, stay there. And eventually, I stayed there. Like he took me in like family, um, treated me like a son. He was like a father to me, and I started to do good. It's kind of like where we touched that subject of personal growth because I wasn't doing some of the dumb stuff I was doing when I was living with my mom or when I was down in Roanoke. Went and got a job. And he was in the military too, so he was actually he was a sergeant in the military. Worked at Fort Belvoir down in Virginia. So I kind of had like a little militant, but he wasn't like an asshole. He was cool as shit. We used to go hang out. Um, I had my friends come over, hang out and chill. Until two of my friends who were in college in Tennessee came home to visit, and it wasn't break. It wasn't summer break. It wasn't summer break. Um, they were just actually they're being stupid. They literally just left in the middle of the school and just said, come home and visit. But, whatever. I didn't know no better. But they stole a car to come back. They didn't catch the bus or anything like that. And which was kind of weird because my one best friend, um, his parents had money. Like, if you really wanted to come home, they probably could have sent him a ticket or something. But, we were juveniles to a degree. Um, it came up. It was up for about a week. Um, the guy that I was dealing with, uh, his name was Tony, the one that let me in his house, and me and him was actually getting into an argument, um, or we was it was tense. You feel me? So then, like when that intensity started to intensify, um, it just kind of like made me kind of withdraw. And when my friends were like, "Man, you should come down to Tennessee with us for a little bit, chill, whatever, and catch a bus back," because I had a little bit of money, so I was like, "All right, I'll do that." Um, the other guy that was involved, which is my best friend's friend of the family, so to speak, was like, "Man, we should get another car because this one's not gonna make it." Blah blah blah. And I'm like, "No, this one's doing just fine." Like I decided to like to do all that, but long story short, we did that. I locked up, and got locked up for a good little while. Um, and the crazy thing is that need to happen. People say, "Man," at the end of the day, I look hindsight's 2020. When I look back on it, the experience of what I was doing, or the not so much experience, but the way that I was moving prior to being locked up, I used to have a lot of old heads that be like, "You either gonna end up in jail or dead." And I'm glad jail came first because death wasn't far behind it. The way I was moving, I mean, not to say that I would have done that or something death defying would have happened, but the way it happened the way it's supposed to happen. Because what jail did and Stafford County, Virginia, they don't play. Like there was Judge Haley, I will never forget him. um, and I don't even know if it was a racist thing, but he really his actual name is Haley, but they call him Judge Hang'em Haley, and he's not gonna play with that time. He gave me 25 years, and it was nice enough for him to suspend 17 to serve 8, but I still maxed that out because that was just bad. In jail, I broke every rule there was, fighting, making wine, whatever you could do to fuck up, I did it. And then realized because there's a scale, so there's 0 for 30 is when you literally not getting shit off the back of any time. So let's say if you just starting out, just get into the system, you're doing 20 for 30. So every 30 days you do, they take off 20 off the back of your sentence. So it's kind of like how it works. It's kind of like a loan, and you got to kill the interest rate before you really start getting into the black, as they say. But because of all the infractions and trouble that I got in the jail, by the time I got to the prison, I was doing 0 for 30. Like no time was coming up with that. And because of all the infractions and the write ups and the attitude and like fuck you, fuck this, and like whatever. And every time I went up for parole, once I started going for parole, every time I went up, they denied me. I ended up maxing out 6 on 8. And but in that time, that was another whole another element that I had to get to learn. That I had to get to. Um, I had to process and quickly because you, if you do not um, find the right path or the right way to process, you're gonna have trouble. And I've witnessed people that was in the jail that were really like just you thought like everything's all good, hunky dory, and cool, and then you see him in prison, and they this one guy named I think his name was Tarek, but he was hype and everything, and they didn't really play with you. They just threw him on Thorazine, probably the highest level milligram. And when I see him in prison later, he was a zombie. So they wanted him to calm down. They calmed him fuck down, but they dumbed him down too to the point where they looked, they had drools coming out of his lip. Man, it's just wild how they did that.
Oh yeah, like because I was so young and I was dealing with a heroin addiction while dealing with mental health and battling PTSD on top of that. Instead of putting me in rehab, they put me in a mental health center that is also a rehab. And when I went long term, it was a scale system. So you had focus, which is where you were 6,000 points below, meaning you had to do extra work. You were restricted to a unit. You couldn't do outings. You couldn't go to class. You couldn't go to recreation. You had to stay on unit with a BI, which is a behavioral instructor there. And I only did it twice. But I was there for 9 months because I was a warden of the state because of how bad it was. But I was also battling a heroin addiction. But during that time when I was there, they put me on medication called Seroquel. It's basically I think it's an antipsychotic, but I am technically allergic to it. And I was so dumbed down, like from the medication itself. I couldn't function. Most of ninth grade year after I'd gotten out of the facility, my first 6 months.
Was that with the allergic reaction, or are you just too strong?
No, it was like part of the allergic reaction because most people when you're at 200 milligrams, you can function fine. And that's on average, the normal dose for most people is 200 milligrams.
And they had you at what?
200 milligrams at 14, 15
years old.
Yeah. Wow. So and I was sleeping. I would come home and I talked to a doctor about this, and he was like, "Yeah, this is practically an allergic reaction. just the way your mind like triggered it. So they just tell me just don't take it at all. Like just avoid it completely.
Was there a substitute that they gave you? That
I'm on trazodone now to sleep, and then I'm on Lamictal at the highest dose, which is recommended, which is what you're supposed to take, and then I'm on Vraylar for bipolar 1 disorder. It's the one you see all the beautiful commercials about.
And that sounds familiar. I know I've seen that commercial. I just don't remember exactly.
Yeah. The square bottle.
I know I've seen it.
Yeah.
It sounds familiar.
And like, if it wasn't for like treating my mental health then and then like treating it now, I don't think like my like I don't think I would be completely like I don't think hold on, good lord. Train of thought lost. I truly do not believe that if I did not treat my mental health then I would not be sober now.
Very possible. Because that probably helped, or not helped, but would have helped contribute to not having the mental capacity to control, or even have the determination to fight it.
And also, like, without treating my mental health then, I wouldn't have also been able to treat what was physically going on with me then too. Because it wasn't until years, because it wasn't until years prior, it wasn't until years prior, like 2-3 years prior, when I was like sophomore year of high school, where like everything crumbled down. I took a fall on ice, chipped my kneecap, everything just fumbled from there.
Because of the family condition. Okay.
And then at 18, I got diagnosed with Ehlers-Danlos, and then they were like, okay, we got to start doing this, that, and that. And then it just kind of was like, yep, this is what's going on. And then it snowballed. I had to tell my dad. My dad's like, oh, yay. My dad doesn't know how to handle news. Like, it took him.
I'm not the news person either. Like, I'm not the...
He's the genetic carrier.
So, I am not the bad news type person, like a death. Like there's a lot of things that people come to me, and I'm not insensitive. I'm the most sympathetic person that I know. But sometimes that's like a probably different topic, but just in that regard, I see people who, like young people, that come to me like, man, I'm going through this, boom, boom, boom. I'm looking like, okay, that was it. You got some more? Like, give me a little bit more that you're going through, and I give them the wisdom that I have, because I've been through a lot, and I try to sympathize, but I did a show in season 1 about weathering the storm, and are you prepared for things that come your way and how to get through them. But getting back on subject, so you're dealing with when you dealt with the mental health and went through that and how it helped you was kind of like me being in prison helped me, because when I tell you I was off the chain energy, I had ADHD to the highest level. They gave me Ritalin at 5 years old.
Oh yeah,
I didn't even know what the hell Ritalin did, or the side effects or the long term effects or whatever. They had to take me off of that stuff. It seemed like I was 10 times worse when they gave me the Ritalin than when I didn't. But at the end of the day, when I was in prison, when I tell you, you got to fight for your life, because if you don't know how to maneuver, and one, if you don't have nobody sending you money, like it's gonna be rough. But I was always a hustler. In prison, I sold clothes. Like, I made wave caps, you know what I'm saying, and like in the summertime, when you wanted to change your long sleeves to short sleeves, I was a seamster, or whatever you call it. I was a tailor in prison. You feel me? Like, and that's how I made my bread. So like, I made shorts, and I learned how to sew not professional. Oh yeah, I knew how to sew appropriately, um, and I did it for the 3 years. For the last 3 years, I was locked up. I was the one that they went to. I made the way. I mean, there was other people that did it, but I was my stuff was good. I was the go-to. And they paid me with commissary. I would just tell them what I'm charging and basically that. Whether it was suits or Vaseline and everything, because eventually, my girl broke on me when I was in jail. She came, visited me, sung the Whitney Houston song "I Will Always Love You," and that's how she did it, like in a beautiful way. But fuck you, bitch. I don't know you had
Yeah.
that.
For me,
But yeah, that's how I survived. But that was how I survived, I guess you could say, financially, because I was so bad with infractions that I could never be a trustee and like make money in that way. But the other way I had to survive was I had to learn how to um, disregard and ignore, because it's a term that in prison is like people are bidding their time off of you. In other words, you're their entertainment, you're their joke or whatever. And when you have someone that's kind of heckling you, antagonizing you, and just on you all the time, and if you don't know how to get them to fuck off you without having to fight or cause a whole nother spiral of a situation, that's gonna be a problem. And I really clung to the old head. And I remember this one guy. He had he was able to get parole, but refused it every time because he didn't want to go back out in society. He was cool with three hots in the cot and being in there. He was scared to go back into society. He was comfortable, and I didn't get comfortable in there. But he did. I did learn a lot from him. And one thing he used to always say is to be aware is to be alive. And that when he said it, it doesn't have the impact that it has now from my full understanding of it. But if you're not aware of your surroundings, you know, and I tell girls in the club all the time, like, hey, look, read the room, read the people. If you can't do that, you're gonna have a problem every time. You're literally gonna stagnate and slow yourself down. You're never gonna move forward. And also to keep you safe, because if you're in, let's say, if you're in a nightclub, if you're in Walmart, and there's something that's could be extremely dangerous to everyone involved in the area, and you're not paying attention, you're gonna be the last one to, be on point with stuff. But that stuck with me, and so I remember this one dude, Leroy. He used to joke and he used to be on me like joning, joking, whatever. And eventually, with him, because it was to the point where I just wanted to fuck him up. I just want to beat your ass right now. But I ignored him. It took a lot of discipline, it took a lot of patience, it took a lot of everything. But eventually, he left me the fuck alone, and I realized at that point, if you eventually, when someone's fucking with you, if you just don't feed into it, they're gonna find somebody else, and they're gonna start fucking with them. And that's how I survived prison, because I just became unseen. I just became invisible like a chameleon. And when I got out, after 6 years of being in there, being in straight survival mode, like being behind the enemy lines, I wasn't a happy-go-lucky person. That y'all see, it took time to get back to where I am right now. And I was quiet. I had this feeling like, because I started to go to this church, and even in church, everyone in there is like they're they're good people. I felt like they looked at me like all they saw when they looked at me, and none of them said it, none of them showed it. Looking back, but I felt like they looked at me like all I saw was conflict on my forehead. I felt ashamed. I felt like, man, by the time I was locked up, I hated the way I felt, and all they did was show me love and try to make me feel better. But as time went on, when we talk about that personal growth, that's my testimony. Yeah, I was locked up and I survived that shit. And I ain't never went back in 30 something years. Like, that's my testimony. I'm not ashamed of it no more. Like, I don't care how people look at me at this point. At the end of the day, I'm doing good. I'm not doing the stuff that I was doing then. I'm not in the mindset I was doing then. Eventually I healed from that extreme shame, extreme shame that I felt when I got out. And that was not easy, because life has not been hard. I mean, life has not been easy. It's been hard as fuck. But personal growth is um, how we view ourselves, how we see ourselves, and how we strengthen ourselves.
Oh yeah.
And like I'm sure, like because when I look at you, all I see is a light that shines. I don't see any like this story that I'm learning for the first time. I would have never guessed that.
Yeah.
So your personal growth is definitely one that is it is it's impressive. That's the word I think.
Like I will have to say, like it. A lot of it has to like my dad pushed a lot of it
in a positive way. So he was the opposite of your mom.
Tightrope.
What do you mean?
He was in the middle. He did. There were some things he could have done better, like every parent could have, and there are some things he did that, in the long run, looking back, he was trying to help. But at the time, it was not the help I needed.
But the fact that you could
like
discern that he was trying, that's got to be some kind of positive.
Yeah, like
he get a couple points for that.
Yeah, he gets a couple points for that. But like another thing is, I'm his only daughter. Wow. Only daughter.
I see where you're coming from already before you even say it.
Yeah, only daughter, oldest child. Like
he should have went head over heels for his only girl. I got 4 daughters. I see.
But for me, he didn't, and it hurt.
Did you ever have a conversation? You said, "Wow." Did you ever talk to your mom?
I talked to my mom, but she is so in it. She's in and out of lucidness.
Today, at this time?
Just in general, because the drugs, just the drug use, the alcohol abuse, like just the addictions in general. Because after it went from drugs, it went to alcohol, then back to drugs, then back to alcohol. She's like, I believe she's 3 years sober. I give her that. But for my sanity and for my mental health, I can't talk to her until I'm ready to reach out. I have to do no contact. Like I can't reach out to her. I'm not ready at this point. She really, really hurt me the last time when I got with AJ. She said some really hurtful things. I told her to stop reaching out to me. She wouldn't. She would call me multiple times, odd hours of the night, ranting about things, ranting about this. She would call the cops on me, scared for my safety, knowing I was fine. The cops had to tell her.
Is that when they did that health check?
The welfare check.
Yes.
Yeah, she did welfare check. She had her mom do welfare check on me. She did welfare check on me. Like it. She did it to be low down. Yeah, to be spiteful. Like, yeah, because I wasn't reaching out to her because I don't want to. And I've told her that multiple times. I'm like, I'm not comfortable with reaching out to you. I can't reach out to you. I'm like, just leave me alone. Please just leave me alone. Leave me and my sanity alone. I love you. I respect you. But I need you at a far enough distance. I'm not ready. When I'm ready, I'll be there. But right now, I'm not. You keep fucking me over. I can't do it. I really can't.
So her trauma bond is fucking with you.
Because a lot of my trauma stems from her. It was not my dad was just emotionally neglected. It was her who hit me. It was her who did the yelling in my face, degrading me.
You turned the key and opened the door for you.
Yeah.
Basically.
Like my dad was like, "Oh yeah, if you're gonna smoke pot, just do it with me. Be somewhere safe. Don't. If you're gonna get it from me because I know my trusted sources. If you're gonna do it in my home. If you're gonna do it with the people I know. Do it with the people I trust. Do it with the people that I can verify are good people." And that's how I've always been.
I mean, that's but that takes me to another thought. And I've witnessed, and even recently, like I've seen girls in clubs that have gotten off of something hard, and then they merge to something else and go as hard on that, chasing what they had prior to. So like, there's one girl, she smoked crack for a very long time, and then she got off of that, was happy about that, but then she got on perks. And when got on perks, she got on that just as harder than she was on crack. And it's like, my term for that was like you're chasing the crack high, or you're chasing your original high. So like, yeah, you got out crack, but you got something 10 times worse, perks. And then that, she was horrible. She went from a few pills to doing 20, 30 pills a day.
Yeah.
And she'd go an hour, 2 hours, how many ever hours, and literally sweating like she was sweating so bad as if she just walked out the ocean.
And like the comment says, like, I could have gotten her arrested, and I tried to get her arrested, but they wouldn't at the time, because it was only once or twice. It was from 2 different phone numbers. They wouldn't do anything. So at the point when I called and was like, I need to, because in Arkansas, you can file a harassment charge if you have called them more than twice and they have explicitly told you, please do not contact me, and stop reaching out, and like telling them that you could put a no contact order via that way in Arkansas. And I was like, I tried to get a hold of Maryland. Maryland wouldn't do it. I tried to do it with West Virginia. I tried to do it with Arkansas, but because it's across state lines, they won't do anything because she's over 1,000 miles away from me.
Right.
So they're like, all you can do is just continuously change your phone number and like just move your address, continuously change your address. And I'm like, I've changed my name, I've changed my address. What else can I do? I've changed my phone number. Like,
well, I wouldn't change phone number. Just keep blocking.
I've blocked her on everything. I've changed
So if
everything.
you change, how is she finding you? Does she have someone on the inside that's like?
I guarantee it. I know who it is.
I mean, I have to say, but like that would be bad.
I think I know who it is, and it's not my family. And it's somebody who has hurt me really, really recently. Both me and my partner within the past 3 years. So, because they're like peak stalkerish, like mimic me to the T. Has called my husband going, I've never had somebody to be able to like do this, that, and the third. Like, you're the only person that's, and like confessing things to them after he's like told him like, yeah, we have a no contact order, leave me alone, stop calling me. You have a no contact order on both of us, stop calling us, stop reaching out, stop stalking. Like, I've gotten rid of all my social media accounts except like 3, 4, 5, and I've blocked her on everything. I have her name blocked. I have everything associated with her blocked. And I just continued with block her. I'm like, at this point, you want to watch, you want to stare, you want to stalk, do it
from a distance.
Do it from a distance. But guess what? Block.
Block. At season 1, I talked about the road to acceptance. And that is what I'm talking about, because acceptance is something that a lot of people don't have. Because if my motto is, if you don't want me, I don't want you either. I'm not gonna stalk him. You say it's over. I'm not calling no more either. Like, they will not be like one of those dudes who's like, he just won't stop calling. He just called today to say, I'm not calling you now. You'll never be able to say that, dude. Yeah, literally, like, he just keeps calling. I know he wants. Nah, I'm good. And serial killers, bombers, all that, they just really don't accept the things that they're begrudging about, and that's why they do things all the way to the left. Like,
and it doesn't help that like most of her side of the family is narcissistic. And her dad has I guess, or had ASPD, or antisocial personality disorder.
So
apparently
that's not in the category with
yes it is.
Avoidance. That's not in that category, right?
No, antisocial personality disorder is like sociopathy.
It's like an extreme introvert.
Yeah, like to the point of, it's really hard to explain. Like, no emotions, no.
So like a narcissist, but not like a narcissist?
Worse than a narcissist.
How do you get worse than that? They're truly poisonous. No
No,
telling.
like
They're
I'm
completely
talking like
empty.
I hate using like TV shows for reference or like people like serial killers, sociopathies.
So like what's his name? The one that had the
Hannibal,
cult.
Hannibal
Oh,
Lecter, cannibal, like people
oh
like
wow,
that, like where they antisocial personality disorder, like where they are so
obsessed.
no, not obsessed, so emotionally absent from the world
Mm,
that they neglect feeling. So they can harm somebody without feeling regret, feeling remorse, feeling any of that.
okay.
No empathy, no sympathy, stuff like that. Like my grandfather was a very cruel person. Like he lied to me a lot and he hurt me a lot. And come to find out half the things he said
It's not true.
was not true because they lie.
Okay.
Because they want their way. It's like that's the only way I can explain it because I never met him
This
in
is the first
person.
time I've had comments. I'm like, she knows it before I do. I'm like, hold on, like people that are interacting. Hello, how you doing? Sorry. But yeah, that's horrible. um uh, and then too what I was saying about the howdy the the so I think we all have that to a degree. Some not some more than others, but the friend um that I was talking about that glad that stopped smoking and then started the perks and um actually dated this person. Cancers we like to fix everybody. Um, but I broke up with her a lot too, so because I was like I can deal with that. Um, but then there was one time it was last year, early last year. I just moved in my place too. I have plenty of room. I've literally opened my house up to a lot of people. Even now, there's people here. But, so, but her, she called me. She was saying that she was basically had nowhere to go. She was in a halfway house. Got put out the halfway house because girls was messing with her, what have you. Um, I don't know the full story behind that, but I know that she was on the street, and at the end of the day, I did care about her, and I let her move in. She stayed here for 5 months, and she was doing good. She was off of it. They gave her a supply of Suboxones that was killed the craving. She wasn't taking any perks at, at all. Um, but eventually, she started to get back on it. One, two, three, four. And I'm like, "Right, can't do this." So she was here for 5 months. Um, and I was going to get her a job once she got her ID and all this other stuff, working at the club. And I seen she was gradually gravitating back toward heavy usage of it. And I'm like, we can't do this. I basically gave her ultimatum, and she ended up calling like suicide much. And they said that's how you get into rehab for free. Just in case y'all don't know, I'm not repeating that. But long story short, she went to rehab because I kind of forced her. And a year later, she wrote a letter thanking me for saving her life. And that's why I have no enemy. Because sometimes some people actually appreciate it. There's a lot of people that don't. Um, and I'm thick skinned with that. And I just keep moving on to the next one. And I know at some point somebody's going to really appreciate the love and the care and the dedication that I have toward human decency. Um, but, you know, she's doing good. A year clean off of all drugs. She's working like a real job. I mean, she's working a factory job, but she's never worked before. But she's having fun with it. I saw her story a lot of times. I haven't seen her story in a while, kind of worried, but at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure she's fine. At least I hope she's fine. But um, you know, I felt like it was a job well done. But you know, so caring about people actually works. It just doesn't work that often because there's some evil motherfuckers in this world.
Like I care about my mother, but I have to care from a distance.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because like
that's different.
I've tried caring for her for so long. I need to care for myself first. And like that's it. Yeah. You need a tablecloth. Tablecloth.
Yes. I was like, that is something. Glasses. I mean, glass is cool, and it's little, I like the look of it, but like now with this mixing board, I don't know if y'all can really see that. That's okay. That's why, hopefully, hey, Mr. What's his name? Perdot?
Perdot? Perdot.
Ask Mr. Peoples?
Mm-hmm.
Ask him the sound. How's the sound? Because this is my first. Sounds good. This is the first official show with the mixing board because at the end of the day, I don't have stuff.
It's the birthstone. Okay.
I don't know what that means, but
Perdot's a birthstone.
Hopefully that's a thumbs up. But this is the first show. Okay, because these are directional lights. So if I move back too much, that might be the cutout part, hopefully. But anything I do, I try not to half step. I literally give my whole, like, especially if I'm passionate about it. I'm passionate about the show because at the end of the day, somebody might can benefit. Somebody might can be touched, and when somebody gets touched, just there's a lot of people that literally carry commercials even further that don't get paid. I will never tell you about any other detergent other than Tide, and Tide don't pay me shit. You feel me? So like at the end of the day, somebody can be touched and somebody can appreciate like those people talking about some real stuff, talking about some real some factual stuff that can help, I've gone through that, I can relate, and then they start telling other people. That's what this podcast is about. So it's a safe place, like, comment, speak, and then share that. But at the end of the day, just here to help people. But I'm not gonna bring you anything less than perfect effort. There's nothing necessarily perfect in this world. But knowing if you go into the first 17 episodes and you look at those, you'll see the growth as now I got a backdrop, so it's not like a boring wall back here with a China cabinet. Like I basically try to make a studio set, you feel me? And then like literally like try to bring some quality stuff. And surprisingly, Timu's the shit. I got all this stuff in Timu. This mixing board, which is a professional type of equipment that makes microphones do what they're supposed to do and sound like they're supposed to sound. Now, anything that you might hear that might not be like 100% is basically in the, what do you say, being 1% better. Okay. That part. Gang. But the mixing board is more of a adjustment type thing. You feel me? So, because it's literally like I didn't even know how to use one. So when I went and got the stuff that I needed to connect it to my sound card, the guy gave me basically a quick tutorial on how to operate it and what I should be looking for, things of that nature. So iron sharpens iron. So I went and bought this. Didn't know what the hell it was, but I knew I needed it, and I knew the potential what it's supposed to do. And then when I went to the store that actually was familiar with it, and then they helped me learn how to operate it. And now, as me just now, I'm into the point where we're gonna be tweaking a little bit to try to get it perfect or better, so that that you guys out there when you watch the show, you're gonna not be like distracted by um, low quality sound or interference or anything of that nature. Like you don't hear like us if we were in your ear talking type thing. So that was the thing for that. So check it. That part. Check it. Like I heard it like he was whispering in my ear.
No. That specific person, I know, and he likes it when I do that. Like,
I bet he does.
Oh, honey, daddy titties.
Let's take these off. So yeah, I mean, this is a hell of a way to start season 2. Deep. All shows will not be deep. Yeah, some of you are gonna be like, "Oh my god, all I do is talk about deep stuff." Well, then you must have a very perfect. Get on somewhere. Go over there and watch. SpongeBob. I don't know, but we talking about real shit from real people, real stories. We don't play. At the end of the day, you'll never know, and I might bust a tear out. It is weird. Summer cancer. So what? And my rising is Pisces. I'm a double order sign.
I'm an Aquarius.
Makes sense. On a lot of levels, it really does.
What do you mean by that?
Get away! No, but at the end of the day, I'm loving it, and this is the start to something great. I have, and I'm telling you, I'm speaking of those tears. I have a show, probably Wednesday. It'll be episode 2 because I'm probably not gonna do one until then with Dallas. And that one's gonna be a tearjerker, I promise you. It's gonna be about friendship. Friday, I have a tentative show with 2 girls from another club, and it's gonna be a panel. So,
what do you mean by that? What are y'all talking about then?
The title or the subject hasn't been. I haven't picked one yet, but I think it's gonna be a good one. But I am gonna be determined. You outing him?
Uh-huh.
I don't know what that means.
He likes these.
This is not that kind of show. It is 18 and older, but still, it is YouTube.
I know, but I was making a joke.
Oh, I remember that. My bad.
That's how I know him.
Oh, well, that's how he knows you.
Yeah. Correction. That's how he knows me. Is
that part. Yeah. You haunt him in his dreams.
Yep. Chest tattoo. All of it. All the tattoos.
He has tattoos.
He has a tattoo. He's an anime guy. So I can't. Full Metal Alchemist, I believe, is on his hand. The brothers.
You're lying. Yeah, the brothers. Not. The Catalina Wine Mixer brothers
from Full Metal Alchemist. Nope. Wrong. One Piece. Never mind.
Oh, okay. So, that's a lot of comments. That was pretty good. Hey, you made me look good, bro. You get a top fan badge. I don't even know your friend.
This is Derek.
We know each other. We solid. We family. But I'm definitely. I like doing shows with guests. I love, especially when they have so much depth and so much layers, because it really makes for deeper insight, and we just kind of like we really bounce off each other, and it was cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
So yeah, and 90% of my friends, if you ever watched any of the shows in season 1, you'll know that 90% of my friends are dancers. I don't like the term stripper; it seems derogatory to me, but dancers, and they're very good at what they do, and they're artistic, and there is a skill. Anybody that ever talks derogatory down to a dancer can kiss my ass. I was gonna say something else, but you can kiss my ass. Yeah, I ain't shit. Some of my best friends are dancers, and yeah,
I'm one of his closest friends.
That part.
And he knows better.
For the last 3 Thanksgivings, I've spent it with someone who is a dancer, and I never spent it alone. So there's some.
I'm trying to do a Friendsgiving this year. I'm trying to get people together and doing Thanksgiving.
I will deep fry the turkey.
I'll do the ham.
It is not. I'm gonna tell you something. So I'm a hell of a cook, and more. I grill more than in the kitchen, but I mean I cook in the kitchen too. And my cheesecake is the best on the East Coast. Anybody that want to battle, you can battle. So,
okay, I have a question. Cheesecake for my birthday, though?
Of course, off top. When's your birthday?
February 16th. February, it's coming up soon. February 16th.
So, Aqua's coming back on the 6th. You said February, though.
February 16th.
That's a long time away. So, look, but next week, when's the 16th? The 16th, I'm going to make one. So, and that way you could at least taste what's coming for your birthday. How about that? So, yeah. So, next week, I'm making a cheesecake. At the end of the day, it's from scratch. The crust is from scratch. It's New York style. Springform pan. I don't play about cheesecake. Ain't nothing fake in there. Ain't no fake ingredients. Ain't no equates. Nothing in my shit. Top notch shit. And yeah, because then you might be on my level. So we're not doing that. At the end of the day, my cheesecake is the shit.
If I got you some good jam.
Jam?
To put with my cheesecake.
Like creamy jam? Like a topping?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can put the topping on there yourself. Bring the topping with you. And then just yeah. Ask anybody that knows
cookie cake.
You said cookie cake?
You said cookie cake over cheesecake.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, you did. You said cookie cake.
That's because you ain't had my cheesecake. I mean, I feel what you're saying. And I know you believe what you're saying, but you've never had my cheesecake. So at the end of the day,
okay.
You need to find your way up here by the 16th so that you can try a slice of this real deal Holyfield type cheesecake. Nah, we ain't gonna do that packy out because he just came out of retirement. Like, yeah, that ass, my cheesecake's like that. And I've actually gave a friend of mine who actually does bacon to try to the same way that I make it and still couldn't do what I do. Because I don't ever follow rules. You feel me? Like there's a cup of sugar I'm doing. Ain't no telling how much sugar I'm gonna put in. I'm gonna ad lib everything. At the end of the day, it's gonna come out. It comes out. It comes out. But yes, I've mastered because that's my favorite dessert. Like, oh my God. Cheesecake Factory cheesecake ain't
yes, August 16th.
That part. I died. Huh? I died on the hill. Don't die before you take my cheesecake.
Watch. He will. He's only like 6 hours from here.
Okay, yeah, great.
Watch. He will.
And I got a room. I got an open room. Stay right here, bro. Like, we got you. No hotel. Save your money. Because you're going to tip me for the cheesecake. Oh, and then
no, his birthday's the next day. Are you going to make the drive out here and come see me for your birthday? So hold on.
His birthday's the 17th?
Yeah.
So I'm going to make 2 cheesecakes. You could take that back with you, bro. If it even lasts that long, you might swallow that junk the whole night. I put a lot on it, but I promise you, like, I can literally text people right now and they'll tell you about the cheesecake. I don't play about that. The second thing I don't play about is my ribs. I do beef and pork. The beef ribs are so crazy. So I had a bro that
okay, but here's the question: do you use mustard as a rub?
Nope. I don't use rubs. I use Kinders.
Oh no! Like to marinate it. You don't use any mustard at all.
Nope. No mustard. I don't do mustard. And mustard only goes on hot dogs and hamburgers. I don't never put mustard on it. But I did. So all right. So my seasonings, I use Kinders. Kinders to me is top notch. They're fire. And I get my ribs from Costco. Costco has the freshest and the best. And 3 slabs for $23. Where else you gonna get that from? Like that.
I can't use mustard for a binding for seasoning because I'm allergic.
I mean,
so I have to use vinegar.
Again, I know you believe what you're saying.
No.
But I don't use mustard on
no. When you bind, so like what he's talking about is when you bake, when you barbecue and you smoke, you typically use mustard to bind the seasoning to it so it lasts longer. And it soaks into the skin. I can't use mustard.
No, that's fine.
Because I'm allergic to it. So when I barbecue and when I bind my seasoning to let it soak and marinate for an hour, is I use vinegar and salt.
I never went to that class. I don't know. I've never did that my entire life. And I've never seen anyone do that in my entire life. Maybe they did it and didn't just show me. It's possible. But again, I'm from DC. He's from 6 hours away.
He's North Carolina. I'm from Arkansas.
Oh, he's from Dirty South. So yeah, I mean that's probably their thing. But in DC, we didn't do that. I didn't know anybody that actually put mustard on.
Yeah.
But I'm not, again, I'm not saying that what you're saying is wrong. I am not that person. But what I'm saying is, once you taste my ribs at Costco, so that's where I get my meat from. Now there's a
I'm gonna
sauce.
outbeat you.
There's
I get mine fresh off the rack.
like from the farm
Mm-hmm.
to butcher. I mean, I can't compete with that. You know,
I get it from.
you gonna one up me on my own show?
Yeah, I get it from AJ's mom.
I mean, hey, look, hey, I
need to get you some premium
I
beef.
stamp and improve that. But for us that not on the farm, that don't know about the butcher, Costco's the next best thing.
Oh yeah, Costco's the best thing.
But again, 3 slabs. And first of all, we're not talking about that bullshit they got at Martin's. Whatever that is not considered a slab. That is like a slip. That's not even as less slip. Like when I go to Costco and I get them ribs, their ribs are like they fit the whole length of my grill. My smoker with the little smoke on the side is literally like that long, and they're wide, and it's 3 of them. And then they have the ones that are pre-seasoned, which I don't normally get those. I get the ones that I season. I season them. I don't put no rub. I don't even use rub. I just use Kendrick seasons, regular season. If I'm not super busy or super tied up, then yes, I will try to get them like a day or so before, and then boom, 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 wrap them up, put them in the refrigerator, and then on Sunday when most of us are off and chilling or whatever, at least half the time, then I put my. But this is what I do though. I bought a nice little barrel smoker with the little smoker to the side, and I used to actually put food in there. And hey, but now
I should
now just use it as a smoker. Like the little attachment on the side, it looks like the little mini barrel, like the big barrel. And put that in applewood. What you know about the applewood? You know about the applewood?
Oh,
that
yeah,
applewood. For you I got off of cherry, and somebody
Have
said
you ever done hickory?
Mm-hmm. I got off of both of those. Applewood, the flavor is really good.
I have to get one for you.
Really good. So I smoked the rib.
I use hickory and apple.
Grill them. Apple, both of those are good. Both of those are good, but the apple really does something
together.
That's what I'm saying. It's probably like improved on me.
I'm gonna have to show you.
You just one up me again. Like you think
I'm gonna have to.
Security, I need her exited off the stage. No,
I just like cooking.
I love cooking too, but hey, iron sharpens iron. I never done it. So like I literally was just apple for real, and then you feel me, like now I'm gonna get apple and cherry. You're not, I'm a Cancer. You will not one up me again.
So you're gonna try apple and cherry instead of apple and hickory.
Yeah. Whatever you say.
Apple and hickory. Apple hickory with smoked barbecue.
I grill them, and then I cut them, and I set them in the oven for an hour.
Weebs.
When I tell you, them things come out like they falling off that bone.
Oh, weebs.
Hey, look. So last year, a lot of the most of the girls Friday, Saturday, the one club, and what they can't, they're not coming to a barbecue on Friday, Saturday. So I never did a barbecue on Friday, Saturday. Barbecues were always on Sunday. And when I tell you that last year it was crazy. I had house full, and everybody loved it.
You need to do one this year.
I did it on a regular basis. I did at least twice a month.
We need to do it.
I'm doing one next Sunday. Because people keep doing it. People asking. See, when you starve them a little bit, then they start acting like I ain't done one in like 2 months. This summer has not been the same. But next Sunday we're throwing down.
I can make some green beans.
Okay. All right. I like that. I feel the green beans. You know how to make macaroni?
Baked. Mm-hmm. I can make some baked macaroni.
You know how to make it.
Not the way you like it, but I know how to make my baked macaroni.
Why? Because I'm. Everybody likes macaroni the same way. Cheesy and good.
Some people like it spicy.
No, I don't do spicy. I don't do nothing spicy.
Okay.
Except my wings. My wings. Oh, I learned from. I had an ex. One of my exes from a while back was a Filipino, and she gave me this recipe for wings.
For me,
Jade literally will die for those. Like I should have just when she was acting funny, I was like, "Huh, here's a wing." She was literally just, "Oh, that's good." I hope she's not watching. She's probably not. But no, there's a sauce that Costco just got. I can't explain it. I can't explain it. But I did put it on my wings and my ribs last time, and it was bomb. It was bomb. But grilling is my favorite thing to do
I prefer smoking all the way.
And I never do gas. I never do propane at all.
Wood.
Because you might as well cook in the fucking house. That's why I'm concerned. No, charcoal. Natural. I mean, well, charcoal gives it that real charcoal, real flavor. But if you got a propane tank, nothing against you. No shade to you. But and if I was coming to your house, I would definitely eat whatever you put in front of me as long as it tastes good. But that ain't grilling. that's just that's just an extension of your kitchen outside. You feel me? Because it's gas, you know. But again, no shade to y'all. I like the charcoal. I like the time it takes to get the coals just right, and then the temperature gets just right, and then they get on cruise control. They're like autopilot. You don't have to touch that shit no more. You just put your ribs on there first, obviously it takes longer. Then boom, it still has enough heat to do you. It's a process, yeah. And some people just don't want to do the process. You know what? I need to do.
Was never
I need
put on
to
a
do.
chokehold
I need to do a show on how lazy society has gotten because of technology.
Yes.
Because that's all I'm saying. Like what I described and how I grill is one. It is like what they say is God, I can't think in the moment. It is a rite of passage to learn something that every generation before you did. Some didn't even have grills. They lived with
I
wood.
propane things.
No, I'm just saying like before like 1800s, 17, way. Houses they don't cook if they didn't know how to work the fire. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's always been that way, and now it's like they got.
I know how to start a fire. I know how to make a fire. I
I definitely know how to start a fire. Like, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I know.
Cancer fire.
But no, like they've got these pellet grills, and they got the timer. You go inside. You stand on that grill. Get smoked. Get smoked out. Change your clothes when you're done. Type stuff. Like
don't change your clothes. That stuff smells good.
You think so?
Yeah.
Like I don't go out, so I don't grill and nothing that I'm gonna wear after for the rest of the night.
Okay, for me,
you know what I'm saying? Like
I like the smell of a fire. Always have.
Arsonist, maybe?
No. I camping. I used to camp a lot.
I do like the smell of coals, but I don't like the smell. So now my grill, like,
then like I grew up in a house, and then on top of that, like for almost 5 to 6 months out of a year, I was in a house that had a natural fireplace. We didn't have.
I had one of those in Fallen Waters, and oh my god!
Oh, the smell!
Nothing like a fireplace, like dead ass.
And that smell after it went out, and the wind.
I do like that smell over the grill. I like the grill smell, but when you have that smoker going like it should, and when you open that thing, it's like God blew smoke on you. It is that much that comes out. So when you in it, yeah, I mean it has a.
But you're not supposed to be in it all the time.
Well, no, I mean, with ribs, no, but with hot dogs and hamburgers, you can.
No.
That thing is cool because I promise. I literally put all my coals and I keep them right, and it throws heat. It's hot. But, bruh, you got a cheesecake waiting on you for by the 16th. Your birthday is 17th. I'm gonna get you a whole cheesecake, 10-inch. Feel me? Graham cracker crust. And when I tell you, my graham cracker crust is not like Granny's graham cracker crust. Trust me though, because I got a sweet tooth and I'm heavy-handed and I don't go by measurements. I don't. I see with the directions of what I've learned from my recipe that I've had for like 3 years now. I don't go. I Mine Jones is better and better. Better and better. So my cheesecake's like that. My ribs is like that. And the beef ribs, they're basically called them short ribs. They look like thick pieces of bacon. That's how they cut the beef ribs. They don't have slabs. And they taste better than the pork. I don't know why. They're so good. They're so good. But grilling is what I like to do, so definitely got cheesesteak coming. Because you ain't had mine. It's because you ain't had mine. I get it. But again, one little bite, it'll change your life. I don't know if you know Chelsea. She was staying with me last year. Her daughter and her son. Her daughter's 11 years old. White girl. White folks. White folks have their taste on ribs. Yeah, I take some ribs. She's like, said the same thing you said, but worse. She's like, I don't eat ribs. I don't like this. Blah, 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 blah.
I just don't like pork.
No, you. I got the best part. Do the beef. You get the rib. Anyway, she literally was like, I don't like ribs. Boom, boom, boom. I said, do me a favor. Just try this rib, and if you still don't like it, you'll never have to eat another one. When I tell you, that little girl took a bite of that, and it never left her hands or her mouth. She swallowed that down. Never turned down everything. Sometimes you just gotta try stuff, and you might be surprised. My second oldest daughter is like, I don't like scrambled eggs because her mom didn't know how to fucking cook. I wouldn't like them either. If her mom, it is what it is. I said, look, just try them, baby girl. And the way I make my eggs scrambled cheese, that's what she loves. Sometimes it's just what you've used to or what you've experienced why you don't like some things. And that's how the old heads and aunts and uncles and all that, they're like, boy, you bet they made us eat back then. They wasn't know the way these kids talk to these parents nowadays. You wouldn't have no tea back then, you wouldn't have shit going on. You beat the fuck up. Or you starve that part. So but I don't come like that. I usually be like, look, just try it. And then, my kids, they tried to go that route with the attitude, whatever, and then sometimes I disguise shit. Like, what you thought about that? Baby? Oh, this is good. I'm glad you didn't do it. I said I did do it. I just disguised it, sucker. And so it is what it is. But I think season 2, episode 1 was amazing. My guest, that was amazing, and I've never seen this many comments. So much love to you. Like, share, comment, tell your friends about it. And we're gonna get ready to get out of here. And Yay. Did you enjoy it?
I did.
Awesome. Maybe we can talk her into doing another one later down the line. So we're gonna exit on about it here. Appreciate all y'all. Like at the end of the day, like, share, comment. There's plenty of room in there for other people to comment too. But you can leave comments if you don't watch it live. You get to watch it later. It stays up. Like it's all the way up. I've got jokes say, but appreciate you joining in. Appreciate you coming through. Next episode will be Wednesday with the infamous Dallas. Yeah, that one's gonna be interesting. It's definitely a firecracker. So appreciate y'all coming through. Appreciate you joining. And we're gonna